Hello, everyone. So, this vlog is. Oh, God, I'm echoing. This vlog I'm starting because I recently got some fairly scary medical news, um, or possibly scary, I should say. So, what happened was a few weeks ago, I was sick over the weekend, and by Monday, just felt like I should have been feeling a lot better than what I was feeling. And the girls were back home from their dad's house. So I wanted to make sure, that I was able to be 100% for them. So my sister watched them while I went to the emergency room because I just knew I could tell that I was dehydrated and I was having really, really bad stomach pains. So I went to the emergency room, and from the pain I was having, they were thinking that I had like pancreatitis. So they gave me a CT scan of my abdomen and pelvic area just to see, what was going on. And they couldn't, like, everything abdominally looked fine. But when they came back into the room, they told me that they had found a bunch of like spots on my lungs. So that alone is a scary thing to hear. Um, Sorry, I was looking for something. That alone's a scary thing to hear, and they tell me I need to follow up with the pulmonologist. Well, they had set me up with one that I could have got into within just a couple of days. Sorry. But I review every doctor that I ever go see. Obviously, everybody should. And this doctor only had like 2 stars and was like, had a bunch of reviews saying like he misdiagnosed people. So obviously, I didn't want to go to him. So I looked up a different, like a doctor that my insurance would cover and that I was comfortable with going to. And I found a doctor, but I ended up having to wait 2 weeks to get an appointment with them because it is a specialist and whatever. So I found a pulmonologist and I went to see her. And between, in that 2 weeks of time of me hearing that I had spots on my lungs and to that first appointment, I had obviously Googled the shit out of lung nodules. Um, and on that first CT scan, I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know this until I saw the doctor, but you could only see the bases of my lungs. And it said that I had at least 12 spots bilaterally, the biggest one being 12 or 6 millimeters, which is about a quarter of an inch. But everything I was reading was kind of like, lung nodules are pretty common, actually. And, they'll probably just say follow up with another CT scan within a year or in about a year just to make sure nothing has grown. So that's what I was expecting when I went into the pulmonologist. And what actually ended up happening was, she had said that, you could only see the very bottom part of my lungs. And she didn't like how some of them looked, but she just wanted me to get a full CT of my chest and lungs just to, make sure there wasn't any other nodules in there that we didn't see on the first one. And so that appointment ended up being a week later. So that was this past Monday. Today is the 10th. So whatever day that was, the 4th. I think it was the 4th. Um, I had my second CT of my lungs and chest. Well, before I even got home from the hospital from having that CT scan, my pulmonologist called me and said that she had just got the report back and the video back, and she was really concerned. Apparently, there's a lot more spots on there than what showed on the first CT scan, and she really does not like how some of them look. Sorry. And so I will be getting blood work done on Monday. So today is technically Sunday because it's like 4 a.m. right now. So I'll be getting blood work done on Monday, and she's going to go over the results from that CT. I still don't know like how many nodules that she's seen on there, and she was also wanting to check my lymph nodes because from everything that I had going on in my medical history, um, she wants me to see a a GI doctor, which is like gastrointestinal. I say that wrong every single time. But I have like many signs and symptoms of colon cancer. So she wants me to see the GI doctor to possibly have a colonoscopy, to check that area out. But this coming up Thursday, I'll be having a bronchoscopy where they're going to go either up through my nose and down my throat or just straight down my throat. I don't know which one. I'm having a lot of anxiety about this. To take some biopsies of the spots in my lungs because they're thinking, at this point, I think she's kind of thinking it's colonoscopy that has metastasized to my lungs, which is really scary to think about because that would mean the colon cancer would be stage 4 already. And like I said, I do not have a diagnosis. This is just what they're thinking. Haven't had a biopsy yet or anything. So far, all I've had is the CT scans of my lungs that have shown apparently a lot of spots that's very abnormal for my age. I'm only 27. And she doesn't like the shape of woman stuff. So, yeah, this could possibly be the start of a very scary journey. Either way, it's scary because let me just tell you, it's been about a month since I've got that first result back saying that I had lung nodules, which was February 11th. So, yeah, I've been doing this for about a month and I still don't have any answers yet because, by the time you schedule an appointment with specialists and this and that, it takes a week to 2 weeks to get an appointment. My GI appointment is not until next Thursday. So, and I'm sure if he wants to schedule a colonoscopy, which is probably going to happen, it's going to be within like a week or two out from then. So I might be like 2 months in testing before I actually have an answer. So I don't know exactly what is going on with me. I know for about a year I have felt overwhelmingly tired, and it's not a normal, like, everybody wants to tell me it's single mom stuff, and they're like, well, that first year you were probably just running on adrenaline. The first year of the girl's life you were probably just running on adrenaline. I'm like, let me tell you, that's not the case because I was exhausted that first year too, but this past year it should be easier because they've been sleeping all night and stuff, and just overall it's easier to take care of toddlers than it is to infants, in my opinion. I mean, they're a much higher energy, but they can feed themselves, they can walk, they can entertain themselves by getting their own toys and that sort of thing. It's not constant over top of your baby. So whatever, I'm getting so off topic. My point being that I know the difference between being tired from my children and being physically overly exhausted, and that is how I felt. So within the last year, I have actually, I have a lump. What's on the wrong side? A lump over here on this side of my face. I'm trying to get a good angle on there. You can kind of see it when I do like that. And I've had it for a while, so I had that thing looked at. I also had my thyroid checked because I was having a lot of like irregular lady things, and I was having lots of up and down with my weight, and then just a lot of stuff that was super abnormal for me was starting to happen. Like I would just get like hot flashes all of a sudden. I really thought I was going into early menopause, or I was having thyroid issues because thyroid cancers do run in my family. So I thought that could possibly be what was going on. And, they did testing for all that, and that stuff came back fine. But then I went to my OBGYN, and they did a bunch of tests on me to see what was going on. So I've been to 3 doctors for 3 different reasons and still don't have any answers as to why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling. Everybody keeps telling me it's just my anxiety and depression that I was going through, and I've been on medication for that since I think it was December. But anyways, so I've been, it's just, doctors, whenever you're young and they look at you and you look perfectly healthy, like say, blame it on anything other than an actual medical issue. Like, like, oh, you're fine, it's all in your head, which is what I've been told. You guys, I hate this answer. I hate being told I'm too young to have something because a lot of people know this about me and a lot of people don't know this about me. But when I was 12 years old, I started, or was I 13? I was 13 years old. Um, and I started having horrible, horrible pain like right here. Like I felt like I was like being stabbed. It was absolutely terrible. Like I would like wanted to be knocked out so bad. The pain was so, so terrible. And my mom from the jump, she was like, "It sounds like you're having gallbladder problems," because my mom had her gallbladder removed. But they literally told me it was everything from growing pains and like asked me if I was pregnant. And at the age of 13, I was still a virgin. So that was definitely not the case. But, anyways, they misdiagnosed me for over a year because they said I was too young to have gallbladder issues. And then when I was 13, like over a year later, I ended up having my gallbladder taken out because my gallbladder was jam packed full of gallstones. So I hate being told that I'm too young to have something because I have personal experience where that was not the case. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm hoping by the end of this week I will have some sort of answers one way or the other. Is this something that's going to be really devastating, or is this something that's going to be easy to clear up, you know? So, fingers crossed it's nothing because I have myself all kinds of freaked out thinking I'm going to die. And I know it's not a great outlook to have, but I read too much on Google and watch too many YouTube videos of 20 somethings that have been through the same issues, you guys. So, yeah, please just cross your fingers, send good vibes and prayers and anything else you can offer in that sense as far as like positive energy. So, yeah, I love you guys and I will update as soon as I can.